What's going on, y'all? It's Mason Bleasdell, your Austin real estate agent. And if you've been considering and doing some research on moving to Easton Park, this is going to be the ultimate guide for you. Let's hit the road. I'm excited to take you for this tour. Before we jump in the car, I wanted to start here at the Union, which is the amenity center, well, one of them, in Easton Park. More often than not, you guys, my clients, when y'all reach out, we talk a little bit about what you're looking for in a house. What are you looking for in the neighborhood that you want to live in? And a lot of the folks that want to be in a master plan community, they want to have kind of that neighborhood feel. Some of the biggest things that they look for is having perks, having amenities like the amazing pool system here, but also having trails, having a park system, having green space. You can get out, have exercise. The trail we're standing on right here is one of a half marathon worth of trails that goes all the way through the neighborhood, not counting like the sidewalks in front of everyone's house. It's such a cool place for that. There's so many amenities that really make Easton Park unique. Talking a little bit more about Union behind me. The Union here has a whole bunch of different pools, a full-on gym. It's not going to be like a Gold's gym, but it's far more equipped than your normal neighborhood that has like a treadmill and a stair climber. It's far more equipped than that. They've got billiard tables. They've got spaces you can rent out for events. So if you're hosting family, if you've got a kid's birthday, you can host all of those things here. They really try to make this a community center, somewhere that people actually use. And if you look at how busy it happens to be at this minute, you can tell people come here to go to the gym in the morning. They don't drive to the Golds down the road. This is by far and away one of the coolest perks in the neighborhood, but there's a lot more to show you. Let's jump in the car and let's hit the road. All right, y'all, so to kick off, first let's talk a little bit about location. So we are here on the very southeast edge of Austin proper. So definitely if you're commuting downtown or anything, be aware of that. Make sure you map your commute. It's probably 20-25 minutes realistically on a normal day. This makes us super convenient to the airport. If you're a Tesla employee and you're thinking about looking for somewhere to move, very easy commute that direction. And as we also talk about location, we're starting here on the very westernmost edge of Easton Park, right off of William Cannon. If you look out the window here, you can see that there is a lot coming soon this way. Because we are a little bit on the edge of town, we're gonna have things here. You can see a building currently under construction that's going to be some like commercial mixed use, so inevitably it'll end up being offices, restaurants, those kind of things. They're also currently under construction with things like a car wash, for example. Those are gonna be directly on site here in Easton Park. Of course, there's a ton more park space and trails and all that are currently under construction as well. But you'll notice, like, because of the location being a little bit farther outside of town, because it is trying to bring a little bit more of the like normal day-to-day things here on site, just makes it such a cool place. You really can only get that with a master plan community of this size. You know, this will be 3,400 acres in total once the entire development is said and done. And because of that, you get a lot of those amenities. All right, now as we pull onto William Cannon again, which is of course the main road through the neighborhood that you'd use to access either 183 or of course brings you into Austin, you'll notice a couple of things if you're poking around on the map here of Easton Park. And I wanted to confirm those for you. So every little section of Easton Park, and there is a good variety, you know, all the way down to like rental apartment homes, which are really nice, up to townhomes, which are going to be your smaller, really small yard, 1,100 to kind of 1,500 square feet range. Those are currently in the low $300,000 range. All the way up to, you know, your single family detached, you're gonna have a larger yard, all the way up to homes that are above 3,500 square feet with a really nice yard, but still a little bit of that lock and leave lifestyle, which is a really nice thing here. You're gonna notice none of these houses have huge yards. So if you're looking for having a lot of elbow room, this isn't gonna be the one for you. But if you love that low maintenance, if you love just using as much of your yard as you would normally use, but not having to maintain anything beyond that, this is a really great one for you. You'll also notice in each of those sections, they all kind of have their own character to them. You'll notice there's a lot of different home styles in here. There's that really contemporary modern. You've also got a little more of the traditional with the red brick and things like that. You know, you can customize your house or find a house that has been customized really to your taste. And that's one of the more unique things about this community as well. We're pulling up here to the on-site elementary school. You guys, my clients, have kids or not, one of the big things we always talk about is schools, because even just for resale value alone, having a good school system, especially your own on-site, because a community, again, that is this big can justify it, is always a cool perk. Because if you've got elementary age kids, they're all going to go to school with your neighbors. You know, it can create that friendship. And as you can see just over my shoulder here. And of course, right next to it, they're building Skyline Park, another one of the amenity centers here in Easton Park. It's going to have swings and slides and a splash pad and all sorts of things, again, to just really make this a fun place if you do have younger family members. All right, so let's talk a little bit of numbers, statistics, all those things here for this neighborhood. Firstly, there are currently 5 builders that are building in here. You've got Pacesetter, Newmark, Brookfield, Taylor Morrison, and Perry Homes, and each one of them has a little bit of their own spin. You know, you've got, of course, builders like Perry, whose, you know, trademark is having big windows and tons of natural light. You've got Brookfield, which is building those like townhousey, they're very modern, a little more contemporary style. Pacesetter's building some of the smaller like townhouse homes. And then you've got like Taylor Morrison and Perry, of course, that are building some of the larger ones. So there's a little bit of something in here for everybody. And prices in here, like I mentioned before, go from the low mid $300,000 range for some of the smaller townhomes, all the way up to about $950,000. So if you're shopping, you know, somewhere in that range, you know, just be aware, at least at the time of recording this video, that's about the price range that you can expect here. Of course, the larger homes go for the more money. Now, tax rate. Tax rate is one of those things every time I brought some of my clients out here, they always had a quick pause. It's a little bit on the higher side. It's not crazy. Currently, we're at 2.66%. And the biggest portion of that is the MUD tax. If you aren't familiar enough with Texas, the way the property taxes are set up, the municipal utility district, you'll also hear as MUD, is basically the private utility company that is front-loading a lot of the infrastructure costs to bring utilities like your water, power, etc. out to these more rural areas. They are a taxing authority, and so you will see a little bit higher of a tax rate here than some of the other areas. It's certainly not crazy. Make sure you budget appropriately, of course, for that. And of course, with that, you do get a ton of amenities, and so it's definitely not thrown away. I currently live in a MUD myself. The MUD takes care of the parks that we enjoy literally every single day. It's why we bought our house. Anyways, it's not all bad, but just definitely something to be aware of. Now, if you are looking into shopping in Easton Park, you'll notice there's a good bit of inventory available. You know, they started building in here around 2018 or so was when the first houses completed. You'll see some resales that are available now. Of course, you know, people move every 5-7 years is very, very normal. So you'll see some resale homes, and sometimes those can be really fantastic deals. You know, the truth of the matter is, and most people won't admit this either, is that when you're selling a resale home in a neighborhood exactly like Easton Park here, when there's a ton of new construction, literally right here, available. When there's a bunch of inventory available, you can get some really good deals on resale. So if you like them, most of the time they've been very well kept. They're not very old yet. A lot of the times even warranties convey on them, same as new. And if you are looking to build from scratch, say you want to customize it fully to exactly what you wanted, if this has been a goal for you, you can see here that there's also a good bit of lots available, different parts of the neighborhood as well, depending on where you want to be and some of the amenities you might want easy access to. There's a good bit. Now, do be aware, the different builders offer different things. You know, Perry, Taylor Morrison are going to offer a lot more customizability than some like Pacesetter, which builds spec homes. So you'll go in there and you'll choose from the pre-selected options. If you want to talk a little bit more about that, we certainly can, but there's a good bit of opportunity here. Y'all, thanks for joining on this tour. If this was helpful to you, if you're considering Easton Park, maybe comparing it to some of the others around the area, I hope this was valuable to you. If it was, reach out, call, text, email me. My direct contact info is on the screen right now. I'd love to be that real estate agent of choice for you to make the right decision for your family, not only to aggressively work to find the right house, but also to find the right place for the right lifestyle, the right budget. Reach out anytime. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you all next time.